Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What do you rank? What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to Soft Sports. If you're not familiar with Soft Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network. It means we're talking all sports, only Houston. And don't get the term homer like confused. Like homer, we're referencing that we're talking about the home teams and we're rooting for the home teams. Of course, the bias will always be for the home team. But we're not blatantly blind to the fact that sometimes the home teams need a little bit of work. And so, that's how we get down here at Soft Sports. Again, we're going to talk about a couple of things today. We're going to talk about H-Town culture when it comes to these sports teams. We're going to talk a little bit about training camp. And I know usually like around this time we do way more Texans training camp. I know primarily when the channel was like all Texans for a little while. Even when it wasn't, like we talk a lot more training camp right now. But I'm going to be honest, like to me, it's a little bit more difficult to gauge. Honestly, but there's some things I have noticed and some of the things I've been overlooking, checking out when it comes to, people reporting about what's coming out of camp. But like to me, it's kind of dumb, right? Because I really wish we had those joint practices. I think then you could kind of gauge some shit, but I know Rona and all that. So that's why we haven't really been going in. It's just like you can kind of pick and choose on that. Like I don't think it's a real gauge of where the Texans are, and unfortunately, I don't think you're going to get that until the season starts. You're not going to know until competition happens. You know what I'm saying? Because how many years have we gone, like the Texans? Oh, they're balling in camp. They look great. Kendall Lamb's the future. Oh, he's finally found. Like you hear all this shit like every year from people at camp, and then none of that shit ends up being true. So like I have nothing for the hype. Like you have to have an opponent to really gauge yourself against. Because even competing in practice, like especially this year, the way things are, I'm pretty sure guys who are already penciled in are going to have, that's how it always works anyway, but they're going to have their spots solidified a bit more. I don't think you're going to have the same amount of time to kind of, evaluate lower end guys. So it's some stuff we're going to talk about. Like I said, it's just really honestly, it's not that interesting to me. But we're going to get into more, but there's some things to talk about, Texans related. And like I said, there's some other things going on that's not necessarily training camp related, but there's just lots to talk about. But Let's see what we got joining us, man. And then we're going to get into the conversation. Like I said, we're going to talk H-Town culture. Again, this is Soft Sports, all sports, only Houston. But let's like I say who we got joining us. Let's get into it. Jabari Mayo, what's the motherfucking deal? Raylio, what's the motherfucking deal? Purple Drink, what's the motherfucking deal? Rookie X4, Jared Key, what's the motherfucking deal? And shout out, we're going to talk about tri-ball in just a second, so Ken, too, if y'all want to have a chance. Yeah, I was prior to the stream, I was fucking jam my little. I have like pre-stream music that I'll jam before I get going and shit. You feel me? But yes, we're gonna talk about tri-ball. If you're not familiar with tri-ball, if you want a chance to meet, some of the Roundtable, and I think there's gonna be some other Texans YouTubers who are gonna be in attendance. I believe 713 is gonna be there. I'm not sure. I know Dicky may have mentioned. I'm not sure if he's going to be there. He made reference. I don't know. Jared, I think, has more details. But if you are interested, like I said, I'll guide you along the right path. But Bottom Park, September 26, 2020, this year, 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. We will be there. I'll be there. I know Jared will be there. A few of the other Texas YouTubers will be there. Hopefully some of you guys, Sauce Nation, will come out and participate. We're going to have some fun. Play a game called Tri-Ball. Y'all might have saw me do it, maybe last year-ish, maybe around this time. I can't remember exactly. Was it last year? It hasn't been longer than that. So, like I said, it's a fun game, man. Easy to learn, real quick to pick up, and I mean, it's a fun game. So, man, come out. Like I said, it'll be good to hang out. And regardless of what the fuck they talking about here in the city, the people need human interaction. So, man, come fuck with us. You feel me? Like, straight up, come fuck with us. Like, you're going to have a good time. Even if you don't play, trust me, I'll be out there talking plenty shit. They'll make sure y'all remain entertained one way or another. So, it'll be worth it. I believe Hector's going to be there. And I get a couple other folks out the round. I don't want to speak for anybody just yet. So, but come out, fuck with us. Tri-ball, it is live at 5. But again, let me say, Corey Jackson, Blanco, Suave, what's the motherfucking deal? Adrian, what's the motherfucking deal? Dylan, Jimmy R, let me see. And if I missed you, SSG Red, what's the motherfucking deal? King Jaja, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. And if I missed you, I ain't dissed you. Honcho Highlights on Twitter, man. I don't know. Somebody's out there recording, if they want that unfortunate task. If you want to call them highlights, they may not be, there may be some lowlights out there. But y'all come out, man. Y'all, like I say, come out and have a good time. And I'm telling y'all, man, be a part of something like, people are afraid to be like pioneers, right? Like, I don't think that, like, you only have so many opportunities in life to be a pioneer in something. Be a pioneer and be a part of what's going to be, once the Roma's over, is going to be the newest wave. Everybody's going to be playing tri-ball all around the country. But you'll be able to say you were one of the first to do it. So make sure you become a part of that. But let's get into it, man. A lot of stuff going on. So we're going to talk Rockets and some of the playoff problems that they're having. I'm one deep today, so y'all know what that means. I'm actually not going to run my mouth all day. We're going to do something I haven't done in a while, or we haven't done in a while, and we'll have the call-in line available so you'll be able to share your thoughts on, today's whatever we're speaking on, or whatever you want to call in. Again, we'll have the 5-minute rule going. So probably get about 30 minutes of conversation in, and then, like I said, we'll open up the line, let you guys call in. And it's been a minute, right? We need to hear from the fresh ingredients, so we're going to make that happen. But the culture, right? This is what I want to talk about. I did a poll. I don't know if I have the screenshot from it saved or not, but I think I have it in my pinned tweet on Twitter. But I did a poll, and I said, what team represents the culture of Houston the best, right? And I'm gonna give y'all my opinion. Oh, terrible. Houston won the first game. Cool. Okay. All right. Bet. Shout out to the Stros. And then this is my opinion again. And if you feel differently, I would love to know why you feel this way. Let me pull it up so I can make sure I give you the right percentages. So it was Rockets 44%, Astros 20%, Texans 30%, Dynamo Dash 6%. Overwhelmingly the Rockets, right? And I guess I would agree with that, like, to an extent. I think the Rockets is, like, I think they are the most H-Town. And the reason why I say that is because, like, the Rockets are best known, Rockets' best player is H-Town for the most part. We're talking about Akeem, right? When he came to America. Houston, right? That's what he is. Went to college, went to the pros. Like, he was Houston, won championships here. Like, to me, the Rockets, I would say used to be. They're more finesse now, and again, the whole league is that way. But I posted a clip the other day of fucking Vernon Maxwell. And for those of you who don't know, Vernon Maxwell's nickname was Mad Max. And his name was Mad Max for I love fucking Mad Max, dog. Like, gave a total of 0 fucks, right? Like, and if you look at the clip, like, he's cussing out a fan, he's cussing out like a kid who's sitting like 2 feet next to him, he's cussing out a teammate like Ori's next to him, and it's like, man just didn't give a fuck. Then after that, he ends up going and breaking a fan's jaw, right? It was a video. I'm just talking about some of his antics. But, you know, and I know you say, you don't go in there and punch the fans, that's not right. But it's not about that. It's about, to me, I guess I should explain what I think Houston culture is, and then why I feel like, you know, what represents that. I think Houston is a very blue-collar city. Like, hard-working, blue-collar people, good people. Like, people they'll give you the fucking shirt off their back. Definition of Southern hospitality right here in the city. But it's also, there's like a standard, but for some reason we don't hold that to our sports. We like greatness. Like, we expect our homegrown local teams, the football teams, high school teams, we have expectations and standards for those, right? And these are just kids. But it's like, with certain local teams, we don't have even standards, and that's my problem, right? Because I think you've had some of the most talented athletes in the world either come out of or come through Houston. But it's like we don't receive that benefit. Like, we haven't had, I wouldn't say we've had all the talent come into the city. And I'm sure there's a multitude of reasons for that. But we have had a lot of talent come through. And I think it's the Rockets, why I say the Rockets, to me, they were always relevant without ever tanking. And that to me, that's an important thing. That's a big thing to me. They stayed in the conversation, even if it was sometimes borderline AC, you know, talk about Kevin Martin and things of those nature. But if it was sometimes it was on the brink, it is what it is. But they always competed. They never like sold the farm and then we'll wait a couple of years, or not. Like, they remained relevant. And I've expressed my views. We kind of talked about it briefly last time, you know, when we talk about some of the athletes around. I'll get on the athletes more specific in just a second. But to me, the Rockets are the team. Then to second that, and again, this is just me personally, from what I know and what I'm familiar with, I would go with the Astros, right? And the Astros, and the reason why I say this is, like, think about it. Like, Houston, the Rockets have Clutch City. The Astros have Crush City. Like, they have nicknames that are allocated to the city of Houston. Like, there's that association. You never got that from the Texans. And a lot of you just are not familiar enough with the Dash and Dynamo and what they do. They had a fucking song from Trey, The Fucking Truth. Their fucking, this is Dynamo Dash, their fucking motto is hold it down. Like, if you put that shit on Twitter, it fucking throws a little H up. Like, the Dynamo and Dash are super Houston team. Like, they actually may be the most Houston of teams, but we just don't give them that love. We don't, like, most of us, unless you're probably of like Hispanic descent, you ain't fucking with soccer like that, right? So, like, we don't pay no attention to that shit. And like, Hector put me on, like, you know, really watching the Dynamo videos that Hector's been doing and those things, like, it's enlightened me to a lot. I've learned a lot. But then even just seeing, like, the Dash, they won it this year. Their whole thing was hold it down. Like, they held it down. they did that, right? So it's like, the reason I say this is because I look at the Texans, and I know you guys just been really Texan bashing lately. You guys just really hate O'Brien. Well, you guys are some haters. Hop left, and he was overrated. So, like, get over it, right? Right? That's how y'all out there sound. And even, you know, if it ain't you, it ain't you. But that's how people are out there talking. But it's like the Texans get all this praise, and like, y'all gotta get, like, I think it's hard for people to understand, like, that you can love something and be critical of it. Like, I think that's where most people get all fucked up. Like, I've told y'all, like, the ref, like, if my partner's fucking up, I'm gonna tell him. If I'm his partner, like, I'm gonna tell you, hey, bro, you fucking up. You could do better. Or I'm gonna let him be a crash dummy. That's not a real partner. Most people will just accept crash dummy shit, and most people aren't real. So, but like with the Texans, love the fucking Texans. Like, that'll never change. There's nothing that can happen that'll make me change. It's like I say, as long as I'm fucking with the game of football, and as long as they exist as a franchise, I'm going to be a Texans fan. That's I'm a loyal to the soil type of person, even when it's not fucking the best. But let's be honest, The Texans are the most corporate team in this city. There is no Houston energy from the Houston Texans. Okay, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you shouted that on Adolfo. Because look at it. You want to talk about a football team that came with Houston energy? Look at what the Roughnecks did and how quickly the city embraced them and how quickly the city was fucking with them. They had local rappers. They played local music. They played it basically like people embraced that shit. Like fucking, it was like fucking, it was going down at the Roughneck games. Like it was a party, but it was a H-Town party. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, I'm mad because, I was on vacation for most of the season. Then when I got out, I think I had a hair appointment one game, and then the next game, it ended up, I think it was a wrap after that, right? So I never got a chance to get out. I missed the party, but hopefully it comes back with the XFL. But my thing is, other than like barbecue, which isn't the team itself, it's the people. Like, that's the people. We know H-Town, Houston got the best fucking barbecue. I dare you to say otherwise. That's why, they won the tailgate like every fucking year. But that's the people. And that's the people who are passionate. That's not the Texans themselves, right? The Texans are a corporate organization. Like, what about them says Houston? Aside from the name, the generic name, Houston Texans. If you're from Houston, you're automatically a Texan. It's the most generic name, like, once you think about it. And I can't blame them. The people fucking voted on it, which is stupid. But it's a generic-ass name, right? What does it really mean? And so for you to have the name Houston Texans, and I'm a Texan from Houston, aside from me loving the game of football, I don't really relate to it, right? Like, I don't relate to the shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, but D4 is an Atlanta nigga, so it is what it is. He's an Atlanta nigga. Like, it is what it is, right? Like, I'm not tripping on that. Like, he grew up what he listening to and all that. Like, I'm not even knocking that. But it's just like I say, the team itself, like, he doesn't control necessarily promotion and things of that nature. Like, the feel that you get from it, like, I feel like this team is fucking disconnected from the fucking city, dog. And yeah, I don't think Bill O'Brien knows Bill O'Brien knows Boston culture. He's trying to make like Boston culture, Houston culture, or some shit like that. It just don't work, right? Like, and that's my beef, because with all of the teams in this city, like, we hold the Texans least accountable. I've seen people, I remember it used to be super big beef between like Rockets fans and Astros fans, which is stupid. This is why I say, like, the reason we get treated like a small market out here is because of the fan. Like, it's the radio stations too, they're trash, but like the fan base accepts it, right? And that's the problem. Like, we accept this shit. Like, oh, this is all we got, so this is what we got to listen to. Like, no, dog, like, you don't have to accept any of this. And that's part of the problem. I've mentioned 1,000 times. Like, you listen to radio stations in other cities, them motherfuckers go in on their teams. They don't give a fuck about
what are y'all doing?
Pissing off the thing. Oh, I forgot I'm in the fucking Discord. So my thing is like, hold on, let me quit that out. So it's really rude because somebody was talking to me and I dipped out. But like I say, it's like there's no connection. But we give the Texans like the most praise for doing the most mediocre shit. Like, at this point, I don't know. Like, I'm like, they're the least achieved and they're the least Houston. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. And so that's like my thing. Like, and I talked about this being a sports town. Like, we'll never be a sports town until the Texans win a Super Bowl, right? Like that's part of it. Like, you're not a sports town unless you win, like, well, one, if you have a team. But if you don't win the biggest of big games, like, are you really a sports town? Like, you've won a lot of other stuff. Again, the Rockets got a couple. The Astros almost had a couple. They've been relevant for the last few years. Just won them one not that long ago. Dash fucking won them one this year when they were, like, not expected to do shit. They were one of the least expected. I know y'all don't care about soccer, but, like, they just revamped their whole fucking team, brought a bunch of people who had never even practiced and played together, and went and won it all. So, like, there's no excuse. We don't give excuses to any other team. And Dynamo, they won a few. They got the little 2 stars on their shit. They won a couple. Like, that's my fucking issue. Like, this ain't a fucking Houston team. I love it, and it bothers me. That's the problem. Like, I love the Texans, but they bother me because I love the city of Houston more than anything. Like, this is what it's all about. It's not about I'm a Texans fan. It's not about a Rockets. I'm a Houston fan. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like it bothers me because I don't feel like that energy's reciprocated. You know what I'm saying? And that's my problem with it. But we'll talk shit about the Astros. Oh, this happening. We'll jump ship on them. These motherfuckers are winning. The fucking Rockets. We'll talk. You have people in Houston who talk shit, and it's weird, especially basketball. Basketball's like the worst sport in Houston, right? You have a team that's actually won stuff, remain relevant. But you got motherfuckers who go jump ship. Will be fucking fans of like other weird teams. Like there's some connections I understand. Some people, y'all got some bullshit ass excuses why y'all fans of some of these out of town teams. But you know it is what it is. And that's what I say. Like it doesn't feel that way. Like other teams in other places, it feels like that connection is there. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like the Texans have taken on the Houston culture. I think they have a corporate culture. I think the Texans are a team that's like a plug and play team. Like you could pick them up and put them anywhere in the country, and it's that place's home team. Like it just doesn't feel. It doesn't feel homegrown, and that's like my issue with that, right? You know what I mean? You say you were here for the Love You Blue with that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like even though like people embrace, like people fuck with the Texans, but I don't think people really like we they do, but I don't know. I don't think it's there. You know what I'm saying? We finna talk about the Rockets. So we finna get out. Like I said, I told y'all. I've been talking. I haven't talked for a little bit about the culture thing. I said I was diving into a couple of things. We'll take a couple of calls before we wrap it all up. But that's my deal, man. Like we just need to start holding not only the Texans but everybody. Like when do we establish as a city like wanting a winning culture? Like why are we waiting on the teams to start winning to have a winning culture? Like why don't we start making demands? Like why are we not? We're like again, especially when it comes to people are afraid to say things in public negative. If I say this, the fucking Cal might hear it and he might take the team and fuck it then. If they're that sensitive about it, fuck them, right? But my deal is this, man. Like we won't get that respect like we want. Like it's because we all want it. Like I talk about it. I understand why we don't get the national respect. I know a lot of people may not agree with why, but it is the truth. But we're not going to get that until we hold our own teams accountable. Like, you want national respect, you got to fucking prove it. Again, like, everybody else has gone out and done, has every other team, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, right? Every other team in this city has a championship besides the Texans. When are we going to hold them accountable? And two, every other team has defied the national media opinion except for the Texans. Think about it. Chris Paul and James Harden, that shit's not going to work. There's no way James needs the ball, too much dribble. They fucking go and have a better record than the fucking Warriors. They fucking go and ball out. And Chris has his raggedy hamstring. Hamstrings are a thing in Houston for some reason. You come to Houston, your hamstring is no good anymore. Maybe it's the humidity. But so it is what it is. Westbrook and Harden can't play together. And they have like the highest average in the regular season of teammates or something crazy, right? So they defied the Astros. Oh, they were a bunch of trash can bangers. They really weren't all. They fucking run it back. Fall a little bit short. It is what it is. Some injuries, some things happen along the way. It could have been, another way. We talk about interferences and all the things that happened with that. But they were right back at the front door, right? Even though the national media said they wouldn't. The Dash. Oh, they're a new team. They got too many pieces. There's no way that they can win it. They are there. They fucking win it all. But what do they say about the Texans? There's no way the Texans are going to beat this team. And the Texans don't beat that team. I'm going with this. This is the squad I'm running with. Usually, when the consensus is against the Texans, it happens in the playoffs. I'm fucking tired of the first round. I'm trying to, accountability. And again, accountability is a bad word around here. There's so many things you can say. And again, it's not Texan bashing. I'm purely speaking facts. And, if you can dispel those facts, then do it. But you can't because these are facts. You just don't like how they sound. You don't like how it makes you feel. And so, therefore, you don't want to hear it. And I understand that. Because I don't want to say it. I'd rather be saying the Texans are the best team in the fucking league and they're kicking everybody's ass. And they ride slabs to practice. Like, that's the type of shit I'd like to talk about. The roof will never be open. No, I'm not ready for the hurricane. But I wasn't ready for Harvey either, and I made it through, so we go rock with it. We'll figure it all out, right? So here's the thing. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Toyota said, butt naked. You're in the Western Conference Finals. And this is what I'm saying. That's why I talk about Houston, the fans. The fan base is the reason we're treated like a small market. The fan base is the reason why certain teams don't decide to do better. They won't do better because we don't hold them accountable. We're just happy to have some motherfuckers here, so we're not going to complain or anything. But that's part of that Houston culture. We're again, that Southern hospitality. We're not greedy. We're not overbearing. But some shit, you got to put your fucking foot down, man. Like, I'm tired. I want to win some shit. You know what I'm saying? The Texans and uncle, they still live in grandma. Oh, goddamn. Yeah, I don't even want to get into that. But that's also what I'm talking about with the Texan fandom. Like, you'll justify certain things that the team tells you to. Until proven otherwise, like, I'm not buying shit. Until you prove it where it goes down in the record, in the game. That's what I want to say. I don't care about fucking practices with two-hand touch and motherfuckers ain't you running shells. You're not fucking hitting. Like, that means absolutely nothing to me. Right? I mean, that's fucking 7-on-7. You know what I'm saying? Strap it up, lay some hat against competition. That's when things matter. All right, that's enough of that. Let me say a couple of things real quick, because like I said, I did talk a little bit about this a little bit longer than I intended. Going on one of those Honcho rants, y'all already know how it is. Want to look at the Rocks. Rocks is struggling with OKC a little bit, right? And I don't like it. It shouldn't happen. Like, they should be done. It should have been a sweep. We can talk about that being a problem with the Rocks, like getting too comfortable with themselves. And then y'all know I'm not a Westbrook fan. And you probably never thought you'd hear me say this, but I am looking forward to Westbrook returning in this series if he's going to play in Game 4. Now I'm just hoping that it's not being a rush back. Like, I think they said he was good to go like Game 3, and I think it was necessary he could win Game 2. But the reason why I say this is, of course, he gets on there. It's going to make everything easy. I mean, it's they don't have enough to stop, Harden and fucking and Westbrook. And it's crazy, right? Harden can drop 20, 30 points a fucking game, and motherfuckers will sit here and trash him. That's the wildest fucking shit, dog. Like, that's the wildest fucking shit. No, I'm not apologizing. He's out for Game 5? Okay, cool. Well, I'm not even tripping either way. Like, I feel like you bring him in, it solidifies, and I did not apologize. Still not a Westbrook fan, but I think he is a plus. Like, and the reason why I think he's a plus is because Westbrook is always on go, right? Like, there's always green light with Westbrook. And sometimes you see, like when you saw when OKC brought it back and they tied it back up, it was like the Rockets' fucking spirit died, right? And that's terrible. I hate to hear that. So, but like I say, I think you saw James get a little mad and punch the hand sanitizer. So I like to see emotion from James. It tells me something, because most of the time he seems kind of like nonchalant, like real numb. I get it too. I'm like that with a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? But maybe that's why I like James Harden, because I can relate to his personality a lot. Even though you don't see a whole lot of it, I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe not the way he dresses, but I get it. So I'm not worried about losing this series to OKC, not at all. Like, and I like the little dude Dort. Like, he's good for the NBA. So like, I'm not tripping on that. And like, I like the fact that he's challenged. Like, this will probably be the toughest defender Harden faces all series. And so, again, you get a good look like that in your first round. Everything else is, I won't say it's a cakewalk, but, it's a good warm-up. It's a good preparation. And again, like I said, when Westbrook comes back, that's another added weapon. I'm really not worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all. And honestly, the further they can push it without it, the better, right? So, Russell dresses really weird too. He's the reason we lost, wearing them fucking baggy pinstripe weird ass pants. But okay, we need to replace the DJ. Let me see. It says the Rockets don't make a deep playoff run, fire there. Tony hire Sam Cassell. Whoa. The alien? That's interesting. I heard, what was the name that I heard being floated about? And I actually liked this one. Damn, it wasn't bringing back Van Gundy. We talked about that, but I like Van Gundy, but no, it wasn't that. And it wasn't Tibbs. I know people had that Tibbs rumor floating a little bit. I don't think that's the play. Oh, a lot of people. You say, can we get a shout out to the announcers? Best in the game. Never. Oh, the Rockets announcers? Are you talking about the Rock? The Rockets announcers are, and this is not biased. I like, because a lot of people, oh, you're biased. Like, I really try to look at shit objectively. Like, I know when I favor something, so I try to look at it, minus my favoritism. The Rockets have the best announcers, and I'm telling you why. Because they're not biased. Even though they're so heavily involved in the Rockets organization, they call a legit game. Like, they give props to other teams when they score, when they make shots. Like, there's never that hate, like, that hating ass, slick ass statement that you get, like, when other teams play the Rockets and James is going off, or, oh, there he goes. And fuck Doris Burke. Like, I know some of y'all be like, man, oh, Doris Burke, she's a good fucking, whatever. Man, appreciate the love, Voodoo Child. But fuck Doris Burke. Like, she's a super hater, dog. And just because she's a woman, she don't get no fucking pass. She's a hating ass bitch, dog. Like, she was fucking hating. Oh, my God. That's why I was like, man, is this game not on fucking AT&T? But technically it's an away game. And fucking OKC, you're playing the same spot. That shit's so fucking dumb. That was really weird. Fucking sauce dripping on my hat. But again, appreciate the love, Mr. Voodoo Child. Yeah, dog, don't fucking hate her, dog. Like, fuck that bitch. You know what I'm saying? And the dude with whoever the old buddy was, fuck him too. He's a bitch too. Like, they sat there like really like, oh, Harden fouled out. Oh, he fucking busted a nut on himself. Like, when they fucking found out Harden fouled, like, God damn. Like, come on, stop the nonsense. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You say no people understand, no real is not a real game. And I feel you. I feel you on that. But think about it, right? Especially in basketball. Y'all gonna be like, Honcho, you said you was gonna open up the line, nigga, you lied. We will take some calls. Even if it's only a couple, we'll get some calls in today, I promise. Think about it. Like, with basketball, I don't give them no excuse. Because how you come up playing basketball? You start in the parks, dog. Like, you start hooping, shooting buckets. Like, it just feels good to make buckets. If you started in your fucking driveway, or if your neighbor had a little dilly out in the street, if you live in apartments, you took that bitch to the back, you know what I'm saying? I remember fucking, in my apartments when I was growing up, we had 2 goals. Like, it was a full court. One goal was like 9 foot, fucking 10 inches, and the other goal was like 11 feet, 11 and a half feet. So you had a fucked up shot hooping on them. But you hooped anyway. You knew that shit. Like, we knew the court was lopsided. Motherfuckers still ran them games anyway. Like, basketball, I can't give them an excuse. Football's a little different. Like, the dominance, like talking shit. Like I'm a defensive guy, so I think you get a pleasure out of laying hat either way. Like, if you sit somebody down, like, that's dominant. It just feels good, right? To put another motherfucker down, like, it feels fucking good. Like, so, but what makes that feeling even better is when you do make a play and that fucking crowd erupts. Like, if you've never felt that, dog, that's better than any drug you'll ever try. Like, to hear a stadium full of people lose their shit on a play you've made is the greatest fucking feeling in the world, right? I don't know. Somebody said something about speedball. I don't even know what that is, but you figure that out yourself. But I agree. It's a different energy, I think, watching it, because it does feel weird. So, again, I don't know. I know those games are going to be weird, but that's why y'all should make sure you're a part of the Soft Sports Patreon so you can be a part of the Discord. At the $5 tier or higher, because we will be, like I say, watching games live, especially when the football season starts. We'll be streaming, like, during the games, doing some certain things. Like, I won't give it all away. You just got to be there. What else? I said we're going to talk about something else. Training camp, right? I'm going to talk about something. And the reason we say certain stuff over here, and I guess we say it because nobody else will, it's not like, I don't want to sound like a hater because that's not the case, but I'm going to bring certain things up and I'm going to point certain things out. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're just going to be honest. Like, ultimately, that's what it is. It's not about bigging up anybody over anybody else. Like, other people have narratives. Other people may have, like, an agenda. I mean, I don't know me. Like, I don't think that far ahead. We don't think that far. There's no fucking deliberate. Like, it's just how the fuck we feel in the sauce. Like, whether I feel that way or whoever feels that way. But I want to say something, and I want y'all to be honest. Like, I've been looking at a lot of the media that's been coming out from Texans camp, like everybody else, reading what people are writing, all these things. But what I've noticed, and I tell you all this, if somebody cannot give you anything, like if everything you're hearing from an individual is 100% positives, you you figure out what to do with that, right? Because there's no way everybody all day, every day is having perfect practices, right? There's things that are obvious, there's things that are blatant, but if people ain't calling it out, well, you figure that out. But something I noticed in almost every image that comes out, especially involving the defense, is it just me? Or have you noticed that JJ's always kind of offset from everybody else? And I wonder what that is. Like, maybe it's just me. Maybe because, like I've told you, I believe JJ's super aware of his brand. I think, that comes first. Like, I do believe that. And it's not to say he's not a good player. You can be aware of your brand and still be great. Like, I'm not saying that they're not, it doesn't matter. But it's just like, I noticed, like, in every image, especially like with D Lyman, it's like he's always just offset a little bit, especially when other people be like lined up and like kind of right next to each other everywhere. It's always like JJ's a little offset. Now, it could be because most of the rest of the defense pretty dark. JJ stands out a little bit. So maybe I'm nitpicking. Maybe. I don't know. But go back and look. And I mean, again, I could be wrong. If y'all go look at some shit, like it's something that stood out to me. I was just like, it's just kind of always like offset from everybody. Like it's noticeable in my opinion. But maybe I notice subtle things. Maybe I'm making too big of a deal out of it. Maybe I am a hater. And oh well, if I am. Again, make sure y'all fucking with it. Tri-Ball, September 26th, 3 p.m. Bonham Park. Make sure you're there. Like I said, I'm gonna be there. Jared Key, the creator of Tri-Ball, a few of the other Texans YouTubers will be there. I don't want to speak for anybody. Like I know that people are supposed to be there, but again, I don't want to speak for them. So again, tag your favorite Texans YouTubers, figure out they're gonna be there. And like I said, I think Mr. Hector's supposed to be there, and maybe some other folks from around, but I'll definitely be getting down. So if you feel a particular way about anything that I've ever said, you have an opportunity to address it if you feel like it. So make sure you're there, 3 p.m. And so, yeah, right. Yeah. Do I have the bot on? Oh, I forgot it's a fucking different bot. I gotta update these things. So, yeah. Like again. Here's my deal. Here's one thing y'all don't know about me. I'm gonna make myself super accessible, right? Like that's the one thing I try to do. So again, if you got issues, if y'all got problems with things I say, because it's really weird to me. Like people say stuff on me that I don't think they say in real life. Make sure y'all, if y'all really want to address it, if you really feel a particular kind of way, because it always seems like certain things I post on certain platforms is always one or two individuals that always got something to say. So again, like I said, I make sure that we put this out. And what's going on? Oh, that's weird that the fucking image ain't pop up. So again, like I say, you want to talk about it, we can talk about it, whatever. It's however y'all think this thing works. Okay, here we go. That's the number. All right. Do I have the sauce line number up here? This is terrible. I'm a terrible person. Ooh, I don't even have it up there. All right, give me a second. Let me put it up there. For those of you who want, if you want to call now, 855-954-0713. I'll repeat that again. Sauce line number is 855-954-0713. If you want to call in, you got something you want to talk about, something you want to discuss. There was something else I said I was going to speak on. I can't remember it at the time, so I want to make sure, give y'all enough time if you want to call in. If not, of course, I have no problem continuing to ramble. I don't want that to be visible because that might not be the right thing. Oh shit, no, that ain't it. Remove that. Fuck no. Again, give me 1 second. I'm gonna put this in the right way. No, remove that shit. What the fuck is you doing? And again, if you fuck with some different conversation, if you want to talk about things besides sports, we will be live at 9 in the Den tonight. I don't know what we're talking about, but it's going to be something that's going to trigger somebody. That is the goal. All right, we'll just put it there. I ain't going to try to fancy it up or nothing. I should have did that prior to, but that's the number if you want to use it. No, fuck, did I just do? I'm fucking everything up, everything but the damn right shit. There we go. If you want to use it, call in, all that good stuff. But like I was saying, man, looking at where the Texans are, and like I say, with camp and everything, I'm not excited about any of it. So it's not like, it's just Texans. It's not about hating on them. It's like, I'm not excited about anybody. If nobody's, if there's no real competition, I don't give a fuck about talking about fucking 4 weeks of practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we have an idea of the cream that's going to rise to the top and, who's probably not going to make it. And again, like I say, this season, it's so fucked up for sports, across the board. Because, again, like I say, the youngsters who aren't getting a chance to play this season, the youngsters who won't get a chance to, prepare to make that next leap to showcase those skills that they may not have had, as a junior going into their senior year, or, maybe that weight they put on is going to be that plus, or whatever it's going to be that's going to help them reach that next level. They don't have that opportunity because the games are not being played. Let's take a call. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling in to the sauce line this evening?
What do you call it? It's Bad Bot 21, man. What's up, man?
Bad Bot, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind, man?
Man, I was just going to say, I think that, honestly, just on the real shit, I think that Astros probably represent the culture of Houston the best. Just because we fucking cheating to win. We going to cheat because of that shit.
Hey, man, if you're not cheating, you ain't trying. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, yeah. So, really, I was thinking about it, that came to my mind. I was like, fuck the Rockets in Houston. It's the Astros, man. We fucking cheating. And we're fucking looking like straight trash now. No fucking more.
I ain't even tripping though. Yeah, I fuck with it like that. To me, yeah, as far as going all out, fuck it. Yeah, goddamn Astros put it all on the line and it paid off, right? So I'm not tripping on that at all. Like, and that's the Houston thing I will say about Astros fans is like, motherfuckers is like, so what? Like, what are you gonna do about it? We still got the fucking championship. The flag is still there. Like, what are you gonna do about I love that about the Astros fan base. They on some old kiss my ass shit. That I fuck with.
Yeah, you literally can't take it from me. You can put an asterisk on it if you want. Kiss my motherfucking ass. Where he's down.
Straight up.
Yeah. But I will say, honestly, I want to say if it goes Astros and then it goes Rockets and then it goes Houston last. Because Houston is just fucking stupid, man. It does not represent the Houston culture at all. It's just a fucking. I think they and not in a bad way, but they do pander a little bit too much to the white fan base, and I don't mean that to sound derogatory, but you know what I'm saying? There is other people out here like Hispanics and black people, and we do play a big role in it. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, the majority of players are black, you know what I'm saying? So I do kind of feel like, I think you kind of touched on it that, J.J. Watt is like the embodiment of the All-American, and he's the star of the franchise. He's the face of the franchise, and behind Deshaun Watson, of course. Yeah. But at the same time, I think that Astros honestly just represent us the best. And Jose Altuve is his son. He's a motherfucking badass. He won MVP and everything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just being real with you, and he gets all the love. And I just don't understand, when Harden doesn't get love, or honestly, like. When certain Texans players don't get love, man. Like, I feel like, man, that Houston is just so slept on, and it's not because we suck. It's because it is kind of because we suck a little bit. Like when it comes to those teams, because when we'll be good, and then we're almost good. You know what I'm saying? We're almost good enough, and then we just fuck it up. We pull a Kansas City. We'll beat the fuck out of them in the first half, and then we'll just shit the bed in the second half. You know what I'm saying? And that's why that's why the Texans and the Rockets get no love. And that's honestly why the Rockets are pissing me off in this OKC series, man. How the fuck are you gonna let them tie it up?
Yeah.
Fuck that, man.
That's fucking crazy. It should have been 4 games and over with. They should have been resting ready for the next series. Instead, now they got to play extra games. That's dumb as shit.
Yeah, we should have been swept him, man. I'm sorry. And then fuck Chris Paul. He's a dickhead, man. This motherfucker was never clutch like this in the playoffs. Why is he clutch all of a sudden now?
Yeah.
Fuck Chris Paul, man. Yeah, he's all of a sudden he became a badass, and he's like the Harden of the OKC. Fuck him, and he wants to step on Harden's toes and shit. Why don't he pull that shit that football player? He's like one step away from just touching Harden's nuts to win the game or something.
Yeah,
fucking hit him in the nuts or something.
Yeah, crazy shit, dog. Like, this motherfucker, that's what I'm saying. Like, at first it was like, well, CP3 did, there's no hate for him. He was just here, he did what he had to do and left. But now it's like, you dirty little bitch. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'd slap CP3 in the face. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Out here kicking people, tripping people, hitting people in the nuts and shit. Like, I was talking about that in the den. Like, I was a dirty player when I was an athlete, but I never deliberately went and grabbed another man's testicles or touched him in his genitalia to get ahead in the game. That's too far, dog. Like, there's a limit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I saw the video, and honestly, it didn't even look like he was trying to hurt him. It just looked like some gay shit.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, it looked like he just felt him up. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what did I just watch? That's worse than the Jalen Ramsey video. so I was like, shit, man. But yeah, man, I think that Astros represent us the best. Fuck it, man. He ain't trying. Fucking suck a dick. I mean, it's just I love the Astros, man. That's the one thing I like about us. It's just, I don't know, but I will say this, man. I think Houston sports is about to get real live, though. I'm going to be honest with you. I think, maybe with the Astros because they're kind of sucking right now, but the Texans, I just have a feeling. And maybe that's just the homer in me, because I always say that shit every fucking season. But I do think with these additions and the offensive line upgrade, and then the fact that there's chemistry that is being developed now because we're going into year 2 with Titus Howard and, our offensive linemen and our new draft picks, and David Johnson and shit like that. I'm not trying to get too in detail about the Texans, because I know it's about culture, but at the same time, I do feel like that's a part of it. Like, the part of the culture is fucking winning. What the fuck's the point of having a sports team if you're not winning a game? You know what I'm saying? Who gives a fuck about the culture? I want to win fucking games. We can develop the culture later, on our identity. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I want our identity to be to fucking just. I want it to be not like New England. I just want to start beating the fuck out of people. I want to start blowing them the fuck out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We should be able to put our foot on people's necks and not look back. Like, it shouldn't be like all this timid shit. Oh, we got a touchdown lead. We're up by 2 scores. Let's ease up. Like, fuck that, man. Mash on them, because we've seen that happen too many times where teams have come back and made it a game again, or even in the like you said, the Kansas City shit. Like, that's the problem. Not want to put that foot on people's neck and fucking continue on pouring it on, dog. Like, that's the problem. Like, especially with the
that's honestly Bill O'Brien's fault. I hate that fucking we can't beat him by 2. That's disrespect. Shut the fuck up, man. That's why you lose games. You know what I'm saying? I hate that shit. If I was the coach, I swear to God, I would keep the starters in all games, and the score would be like 300-0. I shit you not. I would do some stupid shit. They would fire me. They would fucking assassinate me for fucking being an asshole. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do. Fuck everybody, man. I hate all that moral victory shit.
Yeah.
Fuck all that shit, man. I hate all that crap, man. Astros represented the best. I just think that they're getting their ass handed to them as far as like the punishment goes. So they're kind of just chilling back in the background. They're like, look, we know we ain't gonna go to the chip this year. I'm calling it. I don't think we're gonna make it to the chip this year because we lost the draft pick. I think we lost the first rounder or whatever the fuck it is. Mm-hmm. And then the Astros. And then on top of that, I feel honestly, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. I think that the powers that be is like, y'all ain't gonna win no fucking championship this year, right, Astros? Like,
no.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, some whole ass team like I guess the Sox are gonna win it this year again or something. I don't know. Maybe the fucking Athletics will win it finally.
Yeah, they're gonna set it up for somebody, because we've already seen blatant favoritism by MLB for those teams, or like the Red Sox and Yankees and teams like that. So the Astros they're not in the big boys club. We don't fit in, so we get punished while those teams get a slap on the wrist or we act like it never happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, can I ask one question? So, would you think it would be a terrible idea to just go all in, sort of like the Rams fucking did when they went to they made their Super Bowl run? Just fucking go insane with contracts and draft picks.
I don't think we're in a position to really to be able to do that. Like, if so, that would have been the thing to do before you start having to discuss Deshaun's contract. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's the primary thing. You got a few pieces that you got to lock up right now that, home pieces. So I don't think they're in a position to really have that conversation because I don't think it's enough money for them to really go crazy like that. Their best bet right now is trying to look at building a long-term situation. And I'm not expecting much, honestly, out of this year. I mean, I'm expecting an average Texans year, but I don't think this is going to be with these people. I don't think this is going to be the year they just make this awesome leap. The tools and pieces,
yeah, just like a little.
But I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm worried about because I actually slept on the schedule because I guess maybe I was locked up and all this and that. But I saw the schedule and I was like, fuck. I was like, oh, geez, here we go again. I'm like, oh, God. This reminded me of the fucking, reminded me of the 4-12 season we went, Deshaun's rookie year. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But you know what, though? I believe in Deshaun, man. I think David Johnson's going to have a renewal. I think we got some pieces, man, all over. I hope Kenny Stills doesn't fucking break his leg, after, it was like just jogging down the field or something, yeah, man. But I'm pretty much at the 10-minute mark, man. Thanks for taking my call, Honcho.
All right, that's a bet, man. Bad. I appreciate you calling in, man.
Thank you, man. Bye.
All right, have a good one. And like I said, it's like, yeah, I'm with that. And that's the type of person I am. Like, I'm on some, I don't give a shit, let's win. That's ultimately what it is. Let me see. Jimmy, you should be getting a message with that link right now. And then when you get in there, remind me. I'll fix your status in there, your role in there, so that what you have, all the privileges and things that you need after the stream. But I agree, man. Like it's a situation where I can see that, and that's my thing. It's like the reason why I didn't say the Astros because I'm not a super Astros. Y'all know I don't know shit about baseball. Like all my baseball comes from Hector. So all my baseball opinions or whatever Hector says is right. That's my baseball opinion. You want to know what I feel about something? Go ask Hector. Whatever he says, that's what the fuck I think. But no, all bullshit to the side. Like definitely. I mean, with the code, like I say, the whole thing they embraced it. Like even now, what is it? 4-H. Like I said, these other teams are embracing the city, the people. The Texans are charging you $75 to send your fucking cutout like you really in the stands watching the fucking game to be in that bitch. Like, again, I am offering up, I'm leaving an open invitation on the table to kiss my ass. Fuck that. Like, ain't no motherfucking way for the pay ticket prices to put a fake me in the fucking stand. They probably wouldn't even put my shit on. That's that fucking Honcho fucking cardboard straw mustache on it. We're going to vandalize it. Talk about our team, you asshole. But it just is what it is, though. Like, ultimately, there's something about, like, y'all buying our opinions. Like, the sauce is conversation. The sauce is community. We put our opinions out there, and if you disagree, like, let me see what's going on here. We getting janky. Hold on. Okay, I think we might be back. Let me know how much that cut out. Let me see what we got. Right, like the Astros. I'll listen to blatant Astros bias all day long because they just won something. Like they're active. They actually get out there and pull the trigger. Like the Rockets. I'll listen to that shit because like when you talk about hope and shit. Maybe up until this year, depending on how you feel, I don't feel it, so I'm not gonna fake and act like I am. You know what I'm saying? Now I ain't even with that's another thing. Like I'm not even with Xfinity. I'm with fucking AT&T because I moved, and so the fucking they have like super slow service here, so I gotta. I need to do I'm gonna do a sauce fundraiser, so I don't want to pay it. Honestly, it's a lot of fucking money, but I'm gonna get this fucking shit. Get an early termination. And then I found there's actually another service that offers like gig speed internet around here. So I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna see if I can maybe just, if I can just cut off the internet because it's a bundle. But I don't want them hoes to try to tax me. But I'm gonna see what's what, because I'm definitely need faster service and everything going on. This shit is, it's cool, but it's not cool. So man, y'all leave the AT&T girl alone. Did something happen to her? Like, I know everybody's going crazy about her. Like, oh, AT&T girl, she got titties like every other woman. Like, she wore some. I saw the fucking couple of pictures where she just, the little push-up bra or whatever she had on. I don't see the craziness. I think motherfuckers been locked up. Y'all done been locked up too long with the Rona. You feel me? Just like who? That's not a great follow. I don't follow pedophiles. Dog, I refuse to follow pedophiles. Like, I stopped following that motherfucker years ago, dog. Like, I peep shit. Like, that's the one thing. I mean, I peep game. You know what I'm saying? I let people be who they are. I'm not saying we got anything to do with that, but I peep game from a distance. I peep it up close. Like, but I tend to let people be who they are. Once there's certain rules, of course, you're not gonna cross. But I believe that people always expose themselves. Eventually, people will tell you who they are eventually. And I mean, if you really pay attention to subtle details, you see it a long time coming. I saw that shit a long time. It was just like, I won't say I saw he was a pedophile a long ways away, but it's just like, and that's why I say it's a big thing to me to make sure I never operate that way. Like, I don't want to be the person that talks at you. Software, we're not talking at you. We talk with you. Your opinion matters, dog. Like, here's my deal, and y'all can say whatever y'all want to. Like, I never went pro or nothing. Probably should have, but I was a fuck up. Like, and I'm not saying everyone's, I could have went pro. Like, I had partners that went to the league that have told me, like, nigga, Honcho, you tripping, you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, on some real shit. So I'm not that's just saying a bunch of shit. I don't even like saying that, but like, I look at certain motherfuckers, dog, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it's just certain people I really don't get into certain takes and opinions, like even national media, local media, whatever it may be. And maybe I'm wrong for it. Maybe it is what it is. But I just look at some people and I'm just like, I wouldn't, like, you could be the most savvy sports reporter. I wouldn't even want to talk sports with you, dog. You look like you ain't never fucking caught a football in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've never put sweat on a field. Like, I don't care too much about your opinion. Like, unless you were just had like a disability or something that just kept you from, like, my thing is like this, right? You got people who can break down the whole game of everything, and that's cool. Like, I respect them more, like, again, if you played, like I say, see, here it goes. Like I said, we getting janky. Let me close this out. We're gonna get ready, like, something, get ready to wrap it up here in a second anyway. I played defensive end and outside linebacker. Mainly defensive end. I remember they tried to move me to safety in high school. I did that shit one time. I said, man, fuck this shit. Fuck this open field tackling shit. Kiss my ass. We'd have been a bad duo, though, because there was another dude, he's about my height. We'd have been cold. It would have been nasty. I just didn't want to fucking do it. But, like, that's my thing. Like, it's like this, right? I don't know if y'all familiar with Sam Ovens. Sam Ovens is somebody I follow. I listen to a lot of his podcasts. Smart dude, real smart dude. I listen to a lot of weird shit, but smart dude. If you want to get your life together, listen to Sam Ovens. Provides a lot of tips about just organize your life, business, things of that nature. But he was talking about something in one podcast, and he said, I've mentioned before, about theory versus execution, right? Who would you rather hear it from? If you were to try to learn a bike, would you go to the professor who teaches a class on the theory of bike riding? Or are you going to go talk to the motherfucker who's out there popping wheelies and, riding on the fucking handlebar, doing all kind of weird, whatever shit? Like, you're going to go to the guy who could give you the theory of how to execute. You're going to go ask the motherfucker who's doing it. Like, I'd rather fuck with the motherfucker who's doing it. I don't care how sloppy his explanation is. I don't care about, like, none of that. Like, because he's going to give me a perspective that nobody else can. Because there's feeling, there's emotion, there's understanding there. Fucking theory can't tell you nothing. He can give you, a bunch of facts, but you're not going to feel that shit. So that's like me. And I'm not saying y'all got to be the way. I'm just telling y'all how I vibe. Like, if a motherfucker just looks like uninteresting, and again, it could be smart, it could be sad. My attention fades fast. Like, because I look at it like this. If the sauce is all about, like, your partner. Like, that was the whole premise of this being started. Was like, because I wanted to chop it up with football with somebody, and it's just like, shit, I ain't got nobody to chop it up with. And it went, from there, and it grew. But it's about having that conversation with your homeboy. Like that's the vibe. That's why they ain't never too overly trying to be too professional, trying to be like it should always be a conversation with your partner. Like when I say y'all the friends, because y'all like my partners. You know, Roundtable, that's my partners. I ain't never met none of them in real life, but I fuck with them. You know, that's my people. I fuck with y'all. I ain't never met y'all. I fuck with y'all. So like that's the premise of this. It ain't well. He averages, 317 yards a catch because he's, technically sound. Like, I don't give a fuck about that, dog. Like, what do you see? You see the eye test before you see stats, all those things. We've talked about before. And so, like, that's the premise. That's my angle of how these things are. So if y'all come here, you're wanting all this super, y'all know I'll do certain little graphic things from time to time, but the conversation's always going to be extremely casual here, and you're always a part of the conversation. Because, again, like I said, it's also not about a particular team. It's about y'all. It's fresh ingredients, your opinion. Like, this is a place where your opinion matters. You call in, we ain't going to hang up on you unless you talk a little too long. But we're not going to hang up on you for having a different opinion. I mean, you want to argue, nigga, let's argue. We can argue all day. Y'all know I've had some of the worst callers and given them time and a platform to explain or attempt to explain, but most of them just, talked in circles, didn't explain shit. Y'all like, so, that's really all it is. But let's get ready to wind it down. Got a couple things I got to handle again. Like I said, we're going to be in the den at 9 tonight. I don't know exactly what we're talking about, but it's going to be something to trigger somebody. I'm finna start setting it off in that bitch. Yes, I bought 2 White Claws. I opened, I don't even know if they come in a 6-pack. I've never seen it in reality. I opened up a package and just bought 2 individuals, even though they're not for individual resale. Top 10 O-line next year? Yeah, I mean, I'm going to tell you the thing, and this is super funny. This is going to be my last statement. I promise that I'm going to slide out after this. I think we could be capable of having a top 10 O-line next year. But what's super funny, and this is something we said in the sauce, like draft night when it happened. And again, it's not a knock on Titus Howard, right? Because everybody keeps using him as the reference. But if we're talking just across the board offensive line, and especially newer pieces, Tunsil is who he is, like Sharpring's the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like why does nobody want to talk about it? He played better and was healthier than fucking Howard. Like, and we said that beforehand, and again, it's not a knock on Howard. I think, again, a year under his belt, working with Tunsil, I think he's going to be legit. I think we're going to be solid. Best set of tackles we've had since, Newton and Brown, right? But it is what it is. And I saw a comment, I can't remember who put it, and it was like, this is the best line Deshaun's had. That's not saying shit. Like, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not saying shit. Of course this is the best line Deshaun. You had a fucking clusterfuck of replacements prior to this. Like, for 2 years, the Texans just decided, we'll just figure it out. We'll see. And then they finally started making some moves. And so, again, like I say, this is not a knock on Howard. Like, he was solid. He did what he had to do. People were talking, he's going to be a rookie, all pro bowler. It was like crazy shit. Motherfuckers talking about rookie. They like, what an offensive lineman is offensive fucking rookie of the year? Be sensible. Like, that's my thing, right? Because people say outrageous shit, and it gets annoying, and then people think you're hating. But people just say goofy shit. But again, like I said, I think Sharping's going to be that guy. I think he's going to be the plus that nobody's paying attention to. So I think that this line is going to be definitely, of course, going to be the best line Deshaun's had. It's the Captain Obvious statement. But if he gets protection, then we'll maybe we'll be able to fully see what Deshaun can do as a pocket passer, not consistently under duress, right? And that should be very interesting. But we'll see. We'll see how everything pans out. Like I say, ultimately, if I'm just supposed to give a quick view, of course, I feel like the Texans are going to make the playoffs. I don't know if we come out the division this year. We're fighting for it at the end of the year, but if not, then we go in as a wild card. Texans will make the playoffs this year, barring, a terrible injury or something like that. So as negative as I may be, that's that. But again, I think another first round, second round situation, and back to the drawing board, right? But with that being said, man, hey, y'all are the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. I appreciate y'all for showing up, pulling up, and sharing your thoughts with me. Charlie Heck, goddamn. If y'all want to slide in the Discord after this, I gotta give you something to eat real quick. then I'll come back to the PC and get everything prepped up for the day. And I'll chop it up with y'all in the Discord. If y'all want to slide in the Discord after this, we can do that. If you are a Patreon supporter, we can do that. Again, make sure you're following proper social medias. Soft Sports, HTX on Instagram, Twitter, something that I don't know. Fucking I'm looking at the fucking stream. I don't know what the shit is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But like I said, there's gonna be a lot more content coming. It's just I've been tightening some stuff up around the house, so I was fucking in the yard a lot today, so I didn't put out some things I wanted to. But trust me, like I say, Action dropped a bunch of shit. Gonna have a lot of good content coming. Got a lot of Texan shit coming. It's just about knocking it out, really, at this point. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. Y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. September 26th, Bonham Park, 3 p.m. Be there or be square. Try ball. Be one of the first to play the game, you know. Make sure you're there. Trying to produce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Most of all, y'all stay saucy. And good evening, sirs. I am.
Perfect.